want somebody else to put it on the notice board, so you'll only come back the day before, is what I was trying to
No,
know.
no, well, it'll come to me somehow.
Oh,
Got to do something.
yeah, especially if you're going on holiday, you definitely will have to.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Right, correspondence we're back to.
What about annual post meeting?
Oh, sorry, no, I missed that.
Right. So,
April or May?
yeah. In May we will have a new council, and that's when we have to decide who's going to be the chairman, vice chairman.
And whoever's left.
Whether you want to have that and then parish meeting, or whether you want to do it in April before.
Pros and cons?
If it's going to be in April, we've got to get on with the invitations.
Okay. Anything wrong with it being May? Takes that meeting along with the meeting.
Well, we'd have that first, and then there'd be the election for officers. And then the normal meeting. So do you want to leave it till May?
Seems sensible.
Because John's going on May on holiday.
Kill it all in one.
You're not having another one then, just before then, are you?
I'm having one in May, yes.
Yes, when?
After the date of our meeting.
Oh, right.
Do my utmost not
I
to.
think it might be nice, John, if you sent us just a little schedule of all your holidays.
Well, you're
Put
right.
it down in our diary. Don't put it up on the wall.
So, do we all agree that we should have it in May or not?
Yeah, right.
Yes, right, okay, we'll have it in May. It gives us a bit more time, doesn't it?
And at this annual post meeting, then, let me get this right, people who have groups within the community are meant to either come along or send the submission along.
Yeah.
Whether they break down what, yeah, I understand all that. Now, does this always happen? I remember the last one, we didn't have everybody submitting them.
Well,
Some
sometimes
never do.
people don't, not everybody does, we ask them to, but not everybody
We've
does.
tried lots of ways of trying to interest people and make it interesting. But it doesn't seem to work.
Lucy
terribly
made
well.
cakes, didn't she?
Yeah,
Oh, she
yeah.
did.
So there was
Lucy made
refreshments.
cakes, that's fine, I made
Yeah.
After that, and before we started the meeting, the parish council meeting. We'll have to do the similar thing again, I expect, but we can organise that next month.
Okay.
I mean, I wrote to 19 organisations last year.
Right, we're inviting them to come
Yeah.
And give their
and give their,
report.
No, it's just that Bradford do the same, and you get the impression that you don't have a choice really, you ought to, and if you don't, then...
Well, we got criticised for once when we really didn't have one, badly criticised, and so we obviously had to have one.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So, I think we were going to forego one, and then we didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But there are people there's an Easton Judo Club according to this, but according to that one.
Do we have an Easton Judo Club?
Yeah.
I
do?
don't know.
In
There's
there?
3 of them, I think.
There's 3.
And there's 2 blokes, they might be martial arts. But I think there is a judo club as well.
Friday nights in here, isn't it?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I somehow feel as if you're a community group and you use any facilities on the community or a part of the community, then you ought to feel a bit of a responsibility to come along and tell everybody else once a year what you're doing and how much you're... Especially if they're,
Well, the
An
guy,
advertisement, isn't it?
the coach lives in Norwich.
Yes.
He's not local.
Should make it.
But there's never. I've written 10 times or never got any reaction.
Right.
There are several like that. There are 1 or 2 clubs where the people running them are at Easton College, and they just seem to ignore all requests to get involved. Some do, some don't.
Right. Well, we'll have that in there.
Excuse me.
Now correspondence.
For
with
Linda's
Western.
benefit, can I just clarify this? Really?
Yeah, clarify it for me, please.
Yeah, because you have a parish council,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
But the parish meeting is completely different.
Yeah.
Even villages that don't have a parish council have a parish meeting at least once a year. And the parish meeting is where all the groups get together and they give their reports and anyone can speak.
Yeah.
And it's different to a parish meeting.
Yeah.
And to a parish council. And the parish meeting has to be held any time between March and May, whereas the AGM is always May. So usually a lot of parishes have their parish meeting in March, so that because it takes up quite a long time if everyone comes and speak and they want to discuss things.
Yeah.
And then they have the AGM in May. Some of the smaller places put more together, but it takes up an awful lot of time. But the parish meeting is completely separate to a parish council, although if you've got a council, it's usually chaired by the same person,
No, I
but
was
not
going to say, 'cause
necessarily.
that's what happens at Dartford. It's
Yeah.
chaired by the same people, but it's actually an annual...
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be, but it usually is.
No, right, okay.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, Margaret.
Oh, have you got any web plan? Mark? No.
Correspondence.
Your correspondence.
Email from South Norfolk. Let me read this. I had a call today from Mr. Rutherford, who lives at West Lodge Road, Easton. And if you look on the electoral roll, you'll see that all the houses along there are regarded as being on Lodge Road. But he says that it isn't Lodge Road, he lives on Low Road. I've looked back into the archive folders of when the roads were named up, and I can see no mention of Low Road, only Lodge Road. I have, however, found an old map with a handwritten annotation from 1990, oh, that long ago, stating that Easton PO, post office, say the road is Low Road, not Lodge Road.
Well, I spoke to Harriet and he said the same.
But Harriet's father had a
Had
farm.
west, the first building, as you turn down there, was his grandfather's farm.
And
Was it grandfather? No, his father's farm. That was grandfather. His father's farm.
And it was called Lower Road then?
Yeah.
grandfather. Whichever.
Well,
whichever.
I was thinking of his son when I said grandfather, not Harriet, but yeah, there was a reason why I said that. Harriet's father lived at West Lodge Farm, or was it West Farm? And he said that was Low Road. And then he said, as you go down that road, there's 3 different postal codes for some reason. There's not many houses, and that road then leads down to the Eastern Estates.
So what should it be?
Well, he said Low Road. So Mr. Rutherford was right, wasn't he?
Would be.
So,
Wouldn't be the first time road names have changed in history.
So,
no, well, that hasn't.
so what's the outcome of this going to be then?
Well, that was because that was the road to Easton Lodge, wasn't it? That's why they started calling it Lodge Road.
Right, yeah.
Because that was the road down to the lodge.
So does this gentleman want to get something changed, or?
Well, only in the electoral road, I suppose.
I was going to say, I mean,
Oh,
what significance is it?
well,
You'd have to put a sign up saying Low Road instead of if it does.
but that is a private road, so I don't know what you can do about that. We won't have signs there. It's totally private.
Okay. Well, very commendable.
So it doesn't affect us in any way.
Not really.
No.
Just that what he wants.
Just go back to him and say,
He can put his own stuff.
we've looked into it and there seems to be a bit of confusion. I'm sure nobody will manage to put it all on.
Church Lane. Church Lane
And then
Ringland Road.
That's
Ringland-
Lower Easton, so what is that, Ringland Road?
Ringland Lane is the bit to there, and Ringland Road is the road.
Because I mean, that used to be the whole road till the bypass cut it off.
Well, the top
Where
end,
you are.
the top end was known at one time as Dog Lane.
Yeah, it was. Because it was the dog public house.
Ringland Road, Church Lane, Ringland Road.
Right.
So,
Oh, that's Ringland Lane, isn't it? And yours is still Ringland Lane, and that goes
we're happy
Off
with
Church
Low
Road.
Road?
Well, we
Yeah.
frequently you get deliveries turning up at the wrong end. Either they ring us and say, we're lost, where are you? Or we have a van up and down saying, I'm looking for number 73.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
At the bottom of the hill.
I'll go for lower out then.
Yep.
Right, sort that
What
out.
do you call it then? Yeah. Japanese gentleman.
Yeah, I had an email from a guy who's a professor in, no, an associate professor in Japan, who's on a sabbatical year working in Birmingham University, studying local government. And he's done a questionnaire on parish council.
He doesn't want to come here, surely.
No.
Oh, was it something?
And he said the survey should take no more than 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, I spent an hour or so doing the first 32 questions. And of course, when you start these things, they don't tell you how long it is.
It's not in Japanese or anything like that.
But no, beautiful English. But every question was on a different page. And suddenly, when I went back to it, I got to the 47th page, and it was the end.
Oh, so you've done
So
it?
that's about 2 hours. But it was very good.
Did you learn anything?
Well, he made me do some work because he wanted to know how many planning applications were considered between the 1st of April and the 31st of December last year. So I had to rush and go through all the minutes.
Not many.
Well, it was up to 10 to 20,
Oh, I
over
see.
20 or whatever. And then he wanted to know how many of you, 7, including that, how many of you were co-opted and how many of you came in at the
An election.
4-year election time.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I made a guess at that. So I hope that won't upset his
He might have
result.
set his date in there.
But,
He's going to take it back to Japan and use it as a model. Gosh. Mind boggles. Okay, well, that's very good. Thank you, John.
but I didn't print it out because it would have been 47 really pages.
No, we don't
We
need
don't need
it.
it. We can take your word for it
So
then.
I won't send it round to you.
Oh, no, okay.
National ALC Smaller Councils Committee.
Yeah, well, you know, I offered to go on to this committee
Yeah.
and I was turned down. They told me that,
Did he want you?
no, they told
Won't
me
be
that,
small enough.
I don't think we were actually. They told me the 3 people who got it, and one of them comes from a parish council called Stowers, S-T-O-U-R-S. One is Saltfleet, B-B-C in Legbourne, and the third one is Maiden Bradley. But they do
Oh,
sound
it's not in this area, surely.
no, that's the whole country. But they do sound very,
Not pretty enough, that's right.
they're very tree villages.
That's what I mean. They've probably got detached
Something like
cottages
Little Small.
with his greens and ducks and things.
Still, they've asked me to get involved with the 3 people who've been
In
picked,
choosing.
and they've given them jobs to do, and I've volunteered to get involved in what's called sharing services.
Well, that's
So
fine.
it's only done by email.
Well, that might be a good idea, though, John.
Yeah,